Okay, we're going to look at the structure of the leaf, and then we can look at how it's adapted for photosynthesis. Right, so what we do is we look at the top layer. Let's have a look at that. So you have a thin layer like this. That's called the waxy cuticle, if I've pronounced that right. Waxy cuticle. Right, then you have the upper layer of cells, and these are transparent. So we can just call that the upper epidermis, a layer of cells in the upper epidermis. These are transparent, but we'll come to that. Now you have another layer of cells. Let's use that. So you have another layer of cells called palisade cells. They are densely packed together, so there's lots of them. Right, and they contain lots of chloroplasts. So this layer here is called the palisade layer. Then you have another layer which is a spongy mesophyll layer. So you'll have something like this. This is called the spongy mesophyll layer, or the spongy layer. Let's write that down here. So that there is the spongy layer. It's part of the mesophyll layer. Spongy. Most people call it spongy mesophyll or mesophyll layer. And if you notice that there's gaps, this allows diffusion to take place, but we'll come to that. Right, there's let's move on to the bottom layer. So you have here, right, let's draw the bottom layer here. So you've got the bottom layer here. It's called the lower epidermis. Lower epidermis. Right, and if you notice that these two are slightly different, they're called, what colour should we do? These two are guard cells. They open and close, creating pores or stomata to allow gases to flow in and out. Right, so these are your basic layers. Right, so let's just write that. So this here is your upper epidermis. This here is the mesophyll layer. It consists of palisade cells and spongy mesophyll cells, or spongy cells, and you've got the lower epidermis. So that's your three structures. Right, let's quickly just go through. Right, you've got your waxy cuticle layer here. Right, that stops moisture being lost, and it stops pathogens getting into the leaf. So it's got a function there. Right, then you've got your upper epidermis. It consists of transparent cells. It's got, because that's going to allow light through for photosynthesis. Then you've got these densely packed, they have lots of, absolutely loads of chloroplasts for photosynthesis, and it's towards the top to catch the maximum amount of light it can. That's the palisade layer. Then you've got a layer here. Whoa, we don't want that, that's too dark. Let's try that one again. Then you've got your spongy mesophyll layer. This contains spongy cells, and if you noticed here that there's lots of gaps, that allows, and it's moist, to allow efficient diffusion of gases. So it'll allow CO2 in and oxygen out. And then finally you've got let's try that. And then finally you have this lower epidermis, and it's got guard cells. They open and close to allow water, carbon dioxide in, water and oxygen out, and sometimes oxygen in. So that's the structure of your leaf. So if we can remember, the first layer is the upper epidermis, and it contains transparent cells which allow light in. Then you've got your mesophyll layer, consists of palisade cells and spongy cells, and then you've got your third layer, which is a lower epidermis, which has got guard cells which allow gases to diffuse in and out, and them guard cells open and close to create, and you hear the word stomata. It just means holes. Okay, that's that. Right, there's one more thing we need to look at if we can. Let's do it with blue. Right, okay. You've got this other structure running through. It's like a big tube. Right, and around the outside is one structure, and then around the inside you've got another structure. Right, around the outside, around the outside you've got yeah, let's look at it that way, just separate them. Around the outside you've got something called let's write with that, xylem, and on the inside you've got something called the phloem. They're normally just mixed in the middle here in this section. Xylem carries water, and phloem carries food that the plant produces around the plant. So this blue thing here, let me color it in if I can. This blue tube, right, is a vein, and it's made up of the xylem, which carries water, and phloem, which carries the food. Right, that's it. I think that's all you need to know.